Yeah, great. I know parents are very rest from across India, and you all are the top 16. Okay, one of our participants could not be here with us for the 3 days, okay, because of the family crisis. But top 16 in India are right now here in Bombay, which is fantastic. Super, Talia, those. Okay, so I don't think beyond this point, okay, in real life, okay, I don't think you had the opportunity to meet everyone else, okay, and whenever you have boys and girls, it's not very often that the boys and the girls sit together like that, okay, so this is a great opportunity for you all to be able to meet each other, okay, exchange thoughts, okay, exchange notes, okay, who's your favorite actor, okay, talk a little bit about Bipasha Basu perhaps, okay, whatever interests you. But the idea is to get to know each other, okay, and parents, it's also a great idea perhaps. I know parenting is a tough job, okay, no, I'm not a parent yet, okay, but I know it's a tough job. I think it's a great opportunity.
I'm from Delhi. I study in Kaga Public School in 9th standard. The thing which I like about Delhi is its historical importance, and of course the roadside food, all those pani puris and golgappas, chaat papri and all that.
When you left Delhi right now, tell me what was the temperature like?
Freezing cold, I mean, I'm just shaking like anything. Freezingly cold, just amazing.
So are you glad to be in Bombay or you prefer Delhi?
I prefer Delhi.
There is always this unsaid fight about Delhi and Bombay.
The camera. What? Yeah, the camera picture on the side.
This one? Go sit there. This one? This one.
Mani Ratnam is there. Give that to Mani Ratnam.
Yes. Okay, guys. Look here. Say cheese.
Cheese. Okay, I think we should get off it.
Slowly. Direct பண்ணிருக்கேன். நான் டைரக்டர் சார், நீங்க ப்ரொடியூசர் நீங்க. ஓகே, now I think இதெல்லாம்
wonderful national finals in a very, very traditional way by lighting the lamp. And to do us the honors, I request some esteemed personalities who are in our midst. First of all, our chief guest and guest of honor for today, Mr. Ruskin Bond, who's right here, sir. I request you to join us on stage. Also joining him will be the CEO of ITC Greeting, Gifting and Stationery Business, Mr. Chandas. Please give him a big round of applause. We have with us the chairman of Rupa and Company, Mr. Kapish Mehra. And two very, very special guests this morning. When I call out their names, I know you're going to be very excited and clap really loud. First of all, Mr. Rajat Kapoor and Mr. Tom Alter. Give them a big round of applause. Okay, they can't decide who's coming up first. We'll get both of you together. Gentlemen, really a big pleasure having you here this morning. Give them a big round of applause. And we'd like you and request you to inaugurate the grand finals, the national finals of the ITC Classmate Young Author Contest by lighting that lamp, a very, very traditional and Indian way of asking for best wishes. Sir. The national finals of the ITC Classmate Young Author Contest, the national finals 2007. It's time that we set the tone for this national finals to share with you what their vision is, what the commitment of the brand is, and how we expect the ITC Classmate Young Authors Contest to grow in the near future and be committed to young, talented students. I'd like to request Mr. Chandas, who is the CEO for ITC Greeting, Gifting and Stationery Business, to join us on stage and address the gathering. Please give him a big round of applause. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, everybody. On behalf of ITC Limited, the creators of brand Classmate and the Classmate Young Authors Contest, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you here, particularly the national finalists, parents and guardians, the national jury, special guests, and all of you assembled here. Today is the grand finale, as you know, which is a culmination of the contest for the year 2007. As I was driving down to the auditorium this morning, I was reflecting on this contest and what it has helped achieve in the last 5 years. You just heard a little while ago that this is the 5th year that we have been running this contest. Well, it has generated 4 national winners in the last 4 years and 60 finalists, all of whose stories have been compiled into books published by Rupa and Company, and these books have been edited very meticulously by Mr. Ruskin Bond. So you know, you already have 4 winners, you have 60 finalists, and you have 4 books. So that's one result of the last 4 years. The 5th awardee will of course be crowned today. the contest from somewhat humble beginnings. You know, when we started in 2003, we went to 200 schools, and you just heard that this year we have hit 5,000 schools. So it has dramatically been scaled up. So the contest from very humble beginnings has touched over 1 million students this year in 34 cities, making it India's largest quest for young writing talent. You know, so that would like, I think, express hope and conviction that the Classmate Young Author Contest will continue to grow and grow rapidly. It will continue to discover and reward creativity and provide a launching pad for many talented young writers in the years to come. While there will be only one winner today, I must say that all 16 of you sitting here are already winners. And you must remember that success is not just a destination. It's not a destination you ever reach. It's really the quality of the journey that you undertake. With that, I would like to thank everyone once again.
Our next speaker, well, we are all really delighted to have him with us, aren't we? I'm talking about none other than Mr. Ruskin Bond. Come on, give a big round of applause. And while he comes up, let me share with you a little bit about Mr. Ruskin Bond. In fact, he is all the way here from Missouri to be with us today. We all love his books, don't we? Yes or no? Yes, okay. If I come to favorites, we'll have a lot of favorites, but something very interesting that I'd like to share with all of you. He's been writing for the last 50 years, okay? That's half a century now. And sir, if I may say, when most of our Indian batsmen fail to score even 10 runs, okay, it's great that you've been writing for half a century. So if I were to compare in cricket terms, he would be the Tendulkar of Indian cricket, wouldn't he? Yes? Please give him a big round of applause one more time, Mr. Ruskin Bond.
Thank you. 55 years actually. And I'm feeling it. And I'm really not much of a speaker, but here I am trapped up here and I have to reciprocate Mr. Chandas's kind description of me as a guiding light. I was going to call him a guiding light this morning, but he took the words out of my mouth. But hopefully he will continue to guide, and this competition and story contest, which has reached such enormous proportions now, and it seems to get bigger every year. I've never had so much fun for months now as I did sitting with our jury last night. They're up in sitting here there, Nandita and Indra, Sanjeev, Anupama, and all of them. I had to refer to the three girls as the Marx sisters because they were so hilarious and in entertaining the finalists. And I hope they'll be around to make my task much easier in any future contests we have. So we were all agreed actually on more or less on the front runner, on the winner, but we totally disagreed on everything else. So actually everyone is, all the runners up are pretty well close and bunched together. And I think everyone who took part should be pleased and proud to be a part of this occasion. And all the best to all of you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ruskin Bond. Mr. Ruskin Bond has been the chairman of the ITC Classmate Young Author Contest for the last so many years, and his job has always been difficult, okay, along with the jury, to come to the top 16, okay, the top 16 out of 1 million. And to just show you what a beautiful job our jury has done, first of all, let's get all our national finalists to stand so that everyone over here can applaud for this wonderful talent that you have. Here they are. up to everyone, come on. Yeah. That's more like it. Great, show you and give you an insight as to who are other finalists.
My name is Rupesh Sharma. I'm from Balaram School, Bhopal. My parents have always been my inspiration, and most recently it's been our former president, Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam. The first person who gets to read my story is my brother, and then it comes to my teachers who appreciate it truly. They were really fascinated when they heard that I've been selected for the ITC finals. For writers to make a difference in this world, then they ought to be people's writers like Paul Coelho and Robin Sharma. If I would have to give one word for ITC Young Authors Contest, then this would be a real big extravaganza.
Hi, this is Tanya Balakrishnan from Mumbai. I study in Arya Vidya Mandir, Juhu. For me, writing would be about mystery, fiction, and teenage stories, which like the teenage lifestyle. It feels really great to be one of the 16 finalists all over India. I never thought I would make it so far. One word to describe Classmate Young Authors Contest would be a great experience. If I win, great. If I don't win, still great. Hi, my name is Asneha. I study in 9th grade. I'm from PSPB KK Nagar in Chennai. Competition like this is really nice because it brings out the writing skills of some students. I mean, like, I was never good at some writing. I was never some great writer before I came here or something. I've come out here very successful and very happy that such a competition was held. If I won the competition and I could go to Paris, I really, really love to take one of my best friends. I really want to take her mom over there.
I'm Kevin Saxena from Delhi. I study in Calgary Public School. I love reading books. Any type of fiction, thriller, suspense, mystery, crime, everything. I'm heavily inspired from R.K. Narayan. His friends just remarked that, have you ever seen a person who wants to live by his pen? From that point onwards, I had made up my mind that I wanted to be a writer. I know it would be difficult for me to be the winner, so I think it would be a tough job for me, but I'll of course try my best.
I myself, Chandan Kumar, and I am one of the 16 national finalists who has come for the Classmate Young Author Contest 2008. I have written a thriller story which was titled A Flickering Lamppost. Lucknow has won this contest twice, and if I will be the third person to win it, then I really believe that Lucknow, the Sheher of Nawab, has something really in it to produce authors for India. So I think I have good chances of winning, and all the participants are equally good.
Because of their fabulous stories. When I was asked to write an essay in school, the best that I could write was, I'm sorry. Okay? Yeah, but that's me. Okay? So, here are some very, very talented students. And wouldn't you all love to know what their stories are all about? Yes? A little more emphatic yes. Come on. Yeah. Great. So we thought, how about telling you, or rather reading out to you, these wonderful stories. And to do us the honor today, this morning, we have a very, very esteemed personality in our midst. Since we are on the topic of cricket, well, in cricket terms, he's an all-rounder, okay? Because not only does he do theatre, he does movies, he directs, okay? He works on television, so he knows everything when it comes to being on stage. And a little thing that I'd like to share on a very personal note, which he may not know, is I met him when I was in college, okay? He happened to come to my college once, and somewhere, a little somewhere, did he inspire me to be on stage and host shows, okay? So, that's something I'd like to share with him on a very personal note. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, please put your hands together for someone we've known as Vyomkesh Bakshi, as Mahatma in the making of Mahatma, and we all know him as Rajat Kapoor. Give him a big round of applause. Good morning, sir.
Before we introduce all of you to some of the writers and read their extracts, I met most of them this morning and spoke to the seven finalists whose extracts I'm going to read. And it was amazing after I read the extracts, because when I was 15, my English teacher told me that you managed to speak so well, why can't you write properly? Okay. Let's go to the first person. 14 years, 9 months of age, Praneet Saxena, studies at the Kalka Public School in Alaknanda, New Delhi. Praneet wants to be a journalist in the future. Winston Churchill's quote, "Kites rise highest against the wind, not with it," is his favorite. His favorite authors, Dan Brown, Frederick Forsyth, and Jeffrey Archer. His story is a thriller that revolves around what happens when the leader of a deadly terrorist group decides to wipe out the national capital of India, along with its population of 15 million, with as mere a thing as a phone call. Finally, it's an ordinary inspector in the Delhi police who finds a clue hidden in an apparently looking senseless code, all in a matter of 10 minutes, in an attempt to save his city from ultimate doom. I spoke to this young budding writer before the event, and I said, "You know what that quote means of Winston Churchill?" And he said, "Yes, I love swimming against the tide, against anything that is normal, unique." He says, "I began writing at 10, and for the information of our other young writers here and members of the jury, let me inform you that this young lad has written a novel already at the age of 12, has a length of about 1 lakh words." I asked him, "How do you feel now?" And he says, "Now it sounds very childish. I want to write it again." And I told him, "Write a new one." Socially and politically aware, I hope, my dear, we see you up here on stage one day. The extract. "What the hell?" Krishnakant bellowed. "Please, sir, just listen. The bomb's not here." "Where then?" When he told the location, Krishnakant's heart missed a beat. Of course, amazingly simple. And he had missed it. Gathering his senses, he ordered the squad to rush for India Gate. 6 minutes. Within 3 minutes, underneath the grassy lawns, a squad had unearthed a cell phone. It was simple looking, except for the screen whose LED display indicated only 3 minutes left. Squad member Ketan Bajaj knew his next step would save 15 million lives, or destroy it. Breathlessly, he carefully opened the structure while the rest of the team, the police and the intelligence, looked on after 2 minutes of intense concentration. He exhaled deeply, turned around, and flashed the thumbs up sign. Responsibility invokes response and zeal, says our next writer.
I'll keep the good news coming, sir.
It's still morning. Good morning, everybody. And Rajat Kapoor is an extremely difficult act to follow. His animated enthusiasm and his knowledge of so many things is, I've always been a great fan of his. But I'm trying to figure out whether he's wearing pajama or dhoti. If you can please answer this question, Rajat, I will be very nice to you for the next 20 minutes. आप लोग कोई मतलब इस पर रोशनी डाल सकते हैं? Is he wearing a dhoti or pajama? Please, all those in favor of dhoti, please put up your hand. And all those in favor of pajama, please put up your hand. I think pajama has got it by a slim margin.
No, Rajat is a very dear friend of mine, and we've shared some lovely experiences together. And he says he feels like he's 4 years old when he meets me. But when I meet him, I feel like I'm 3 years old, so there's a competition going on. And he's talking about kushti. The one time in my life when I used to be very fit, I tried to pick up Rajat Kapoor in a play rehearsal, and I hurt my back so badly that I couldn't get out of bed for 3 days after that. So uske baad maine kaha nahi, Punjabiyon se ladna nahi hai, unse dosti karni hai. But as I read these stories, and some of these stories are absolutely fantastic, two things come to mind. One is the fact that Sri Ruskin Bond is an inspiration for so many of you. That's absolutely fantastic. But aside from Bond Sahab, Satyajit Ray is mentioned in R.K. Narayan. There is no mention of any Indian authors at all. And I think, I will not say that's a matter of shame, but it's a matter of sorrow. And I don't blame the Indian authors, I blame our schools. There are some fantastic Indian authors. They may not have originally written in English, but they get translated into English. And if you are not being exposed to them by the age of 15 or 16, there's nothing wrong with those authors, there's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with your schools. And please tell me, are you reading any of Jim Corbett at this stage of your life? Have you read anything of Jim Corbett? Any answers? Yes? Okay, you must read more and more of Jim Corbett. He is an absolutely fantastic writer, and he writes about an India which has almost disappeared and an India which we have to save. That is the jungles of India and the tigers. Read Jim Corbett. Have you read Prem Chand? Why doesn't he inspire you? Better not think about it. Some of you who are 16 and 17, have you read anything of Manto? Read Manto. Krishan Chandra, have you read Krishan Chandra? Read Krishan Chandra. If it's not in your school library, get them into your school library. Have you read Nandita Puri? If you've not read Nandita Puri's short stories, read them immediately. And again, I'm not trying to be the old grandfather giving you a lecture, but we have fantastic writers, and they're not great because they're Indians. They're great because they write beautifully and they write about our home. So humble suggestion is, if you do not have any of these books in your syllabus or in your classes or in your libraries, get them into your libraries now. These are just small things which came to me, and I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I think this policy jo meri shikayat hai, that out of you people, maybe 10 years from now, the people competing will use some of your names as inspiration, and I hope that when they use your names as inspiration, it will be of something that you've written about your own home, rather than borrowing something from USA or England. Write about your own problems, your own dreams, and your own home, rather than taking something from outside. End of the lecture, Rajat. Thank you for being with me.
Great. I was just worried whether I'm mendacious or not, but I'm glad I'm not. Great. Thank you so much, Batila. Okay. Well, were one of those stories really exciting? Just the gist of it? Yes? Yeah? And if you really want to read those stories, will you all have an opportunity? Won't you all have an opportunity? Don't know. Let me give you the good news. You all will have an opportunity to read those fantastic 16 stories, because we have a great partner in Rupa and Company, okay, who's been with us right from the first ITC Classmate Young Authors Contest and even today, and they will be publishing all the 16 stories so that every one of us can read those wonderful stories. Give a big round of applause to Rupa and Company. They believe in 3 R's: reach, range, and reading pleasure. And to tell you more about the 3 R's, their commitment to this competition and more about Rupa and Company. Please give a big warm round of welcome and applause to the chairman of Rupa and Company, Mr. Kapish Mehra.
Thanks a lot for that introduction. The chairman is actually supposed to be my father. I'm the mismanager of the company. So that's how it is. And it's actually 4 R's that we believe in. Reach is one, range is the other, third is reading pleasure, and fourth is Ruskin Bond. So kudos to Ruskin Bond as well. Mr. Das was mentioning during his speech, when he was coming to this contest today, he was thinking about previous contests that were held over the last couple of years. I think when I'm coming to this contest, they're supposed to be saying 3 things. They're supposed to be talking very highly about the book. They're supposed to be talking very highly about the authors. And they're supposed to be asking all of you to buy a copy of the book. My job has been made very easy by people before me. Mr. Alter, Mr. Kapoor have been very kind to read out the stories. I don't have to go into detail with them, on them rather. But I must admit that we have to have a vacancy for an editor in the office now. Mr. Alter was superb. I think we need to, there has to be another thing that has to be added to actor. Editor may be the next one maybe. So that is one. Talking very high about the authors. I think, yes, there is a trip to Paris, and trip to Paris is very important. It's something that everybody looks forward to. But I agree when Mr. Bond says that all of you are winners, because the purpose of writing a story is really to get it published, to come out in the form of a book. And irrespective whether you're the first or the second or the third or whatever, the fact is that you are a national finalist. And because you're a national finalist, your story is going to be published. I think as an author, that's the biggest step that one can take. And you should be very happy that you've been able to, and you have been selected to take that step.
Well, our first jury member, she's taught English at the college level. She's had stints at Filmfare, the Evening News of India. She's a freelance journalist, has contributed to magazines like the Illustrated Weekly of India. She currently writes for Verve, Inside Out and DNA. Please give a big round of applause to Ms. Alpana Chaudhary. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being one of the jury members, and we request you to wait on stage while we invite the other jury members on as well. Our next jury member, she is the consulting editor for Rupa and Company, one of the largest publishers and distributors, as we just heard. She's also associated with Knowledge at Wharton, the online business journal of the Wharton Business School, University of Pennsylvania, and she is the contributing editor for the Indian Indian edition. A senior business journalist, please welcome Ms. Indira Khanna. Our next jury member, well, Mr. Tom Alter. If there were any more trivia questions of films that you would like to ask, he'd be the person to get them all right, okay? Because the next jury member, he's a national award-winning author and documentary filmmaker. He's written and lectured on Indian cinema since 1970. Well, he's taught film criticism at several Mumbai colleges and hosted interviews, magazine programs on All India Radio and Doordarshan. Please welcome Mr. Sanjeev Narwekar. In fact, yesterday when I was introducing Mr. Sanjeev Narwekar to our finalists, we told them about a book that he's written on the story of Hindi film comedy. Okay, it's an exclusive book on Hindi film comedy, and we were debating and saying what an apt title it's got. It's called Ina Meena Dika. Okay, so if you want to go out and read some good Hindi comedy, okay, Ina Meena Dika is the book that you need to go and read. And last but definitely not the least, you heard her name being called out by Mr. Tom Alter. Okay, she studied in Kolkata and Mumbai. But yesterday when I asked her, which is your favorite city, Kolkata or Mumbai, she said Bombay. Okay, so she doesn't like Kolkata or Mumbai, she likes the old Bombay. She's also worked as a broadcast journalist for All India Radio and Radio Network in Calcutta. Her collection of short stories, 9 on 9, has been critically acclaimed and well received. It's gone into its 4th edition and has also been translated in German at the 2006 Frankfurt Book Fair. She's now based in Mumbai and currently writes for Dainik Bhaskar, India's largest circulated daily. Please give a big round of applause to Ms. Nandita Puri. To the national jury for a great job that they've done. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. We request you to kindly. The jury thought were the best to be at the national finals. So when I tell you now, that's when you will give a big round of applause to the top finalists. And that's now. Let's have the top finalists on stage. Come on, everyone. For the ITC Classmate Young Authors Contest. Does anyone have a pen over here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir? I need one. Not at all. I'll tell you why I'm not prepared. Because I'd like each one of you to sign this for me, because you never know, someone from here is tomorrow going to be a great author, and I'll be the first one to have got their autograph, and I would have beat Mr. Tom Alter to that. Okay, great, with his pen. So everyone, you'll sign on this, okay? For me, give them a big round of applause for giving me an autograph. Yeah. I'm going to preserve that, okay, and keep it as something I will remember for the rest of my life. And when one of you wins the Booker Prize, I'm going to say I was there first. Okay. Now, well, it's that decisive moment. It's that time, nail-biting, when one of you will be awarded the Young Author. Okay? ITC Classmate Young Author. Do you want to know what the big prize is? Yes? 50 rupees and much more. The big prize, of course, everyone's getting published, okay, in a book by Rupa and Company, but the winner gets to go to Paris. Okay? That's the good part. The sad part, they're not taking me along. Okay? Now, I request the presence of Mr. Chandas, Mr. Tom Alter, and Mr. Rajan Kapoor one more time on stage. Please give them a big round of applause as they walk on the stage. And It's getting a little tense out here. Okay? Now we know what Kumble is feeling like, perhaps. Yes? Kumble is confident. In fact, he took the 5th wicket. Yeah. The 5th wicket was taken by Kumble. Okay. Now, they're holding hands. Okay, the boys, they're holding their own hands. Yeah, you're always left out, aren't we? Okay, so let's have the names of who's making it. Okay, these are the autographs. Thank you so much. Okay, I've been called back. Final moment perhaps. Okay, they probably want to change the name of the winner. But we haven't yet said a thank yous, okay, in expression to Mr. Rajat Kapoor and to Mr. Tom Alter, and I request Mr. Chandas to felicitate and thank Mr. Tom Alter and Mr. Rajat Kapoor for being with us this morning. Okay, now, while we get that out of the way, Mr. Rajat Kapoor, yeah, we hand over your token of appreciation to you later, because now we need your hands to be free to give away the awards. Okay? Are you all nervous? Yes? Let's take final comments from our finalists. Okay? Yes? How are you feeling right now?
Obviously nervous.
Okay. I was guessing you wouldn't be. Mithila, you won this last year. Mithila, this is what these days Mahendra Singh Dhoni is feeling like when he goes out to play, because everyone's expecting him to win. Okay, expecting him to score that century. What are you feeling like?
Right now I'm speechless, but I'm very excited and I'm very happy right now.
Okay. Let's speak to one of the boys. Yeah. Yes. Tell us what's going through your head, okay? And what have your parents told you about being here today? Have they said जीत के आना ही है? या कहा है बॉम्बे में मजा करके आओ?
Actually, I've been feeling really nervous. I'm in jitters right now. Okay, and my parents have always been with me, and they're proud of me, and they say we jeet ke aana hai, but it's up to you people to decide who's gonna win.
Okay, why didn't you tell me that before? I would have met your parents a little baju mein. No, but on a very serious note, I think every one of you over here is a winner today, okay? And one more time, let's give a big round of applause to our finalists. They are all winners. In the true sense. While 16 was selected, only 15 are standing here on stage today because one of our participants, Gurpreet Kaur from St. Felix School, Pune, couldn't make it to Bombay for personal reasons. However, the jury did read her story as well. They did have an opportunity to meet her, and her stories were among the good ones. Okay, no wonder she was in the top 16, but her story has received a special mention from the jury as well. So big round of applause to Gurpreet Kaur, though she's not here with us today this morning. Okay, so 15 on stage. We do this quick. I'll call out 10 names. You will walk up, okay? You will be the ones who've not made the cut to the top 5. Okay? Malicious. Okay, but it has to happen. So, I'll call out 10 names. You will step up one by one, okay? And we'll clap for them as they walk up. Okay? R. Meera Shri from Bharati Matriculation, Coimbatore. Zoya Akhtar, St. Mary's School, Mangalore. Nitish Jha, The Radiant Way, Raipur. Vishant Agarwal, Bal Bhagat, Bhopal. Matriculation Senior Secondary School, Coimbatore. Ms. Pyarshi Lalita Sri Aurobindo International, Hyderabad. Prithimish Nath, National Gems Higher Secondary School, Kolkata. M. Nivita, The Ashram, Chennai. ISS Shirisha, RD Rajpal Public School, Delhi. And Chandan Kumar, RD Public School, Lucknow. Well, the names that I called out are in order of 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and so on. All of you, you've been great, okay? I hope you've enjoyed your stay in Bombay, okay? Few more hours left, make the best of it. But you are, as I said before, also winners. Give them a big round of applause, and let's have your prizes coming up. Come on. Let's have prizes for our top 10, and I request Mr. Rajat Kapoor, Mr. Tom Alter, to hand over the prizes to... There's only one of these iPods remaining, okay, which will be won by one of you, okay. So that will be number 5, and then I shall announce 4, 3, 2, and 1. So are you ready? Yes. Well, if there's no number 5, then I get the iPod. But there is a number 5. Okay. I don't know how to announce this, okay, because it's now being even more nasty, I guess, but we have to. Number 5, from Utpal Sangvi School, Mumbai, Pratila Sarao. Give her a big round of applause. To give the prizes to Pratila and the trophy. We have a photograph with Pratila. Pratila, you won it last year, okay? What do you think didn't happen for you or work for you this time around?
See, I wouldn't compare my last year to this year because it isn't about, comparing the two ones. Since I won last year, I have to win this year. It's about that single story. That single story could have done it or couldn't have done it. So I don't take it in a wrong way.
Now, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'll announce number 4 immediately without any further delay. Number 4 from Calcutta Public School, Delhi, Pranit Saxena. I request the dignitaries to hand over the awards and certificate to Pranit. Mr. Rajat Kapoor, Mr. Tom Alter. Well done, Pranit. Okay, making it to the top 4, that's great. And I'm sure you must have had some nervous moments behind, yes? Well done, Pranit. Okay, making it to the top 4, that's great. And I'm sure you must have had some nervous moments behind, yes? But well done. Give him a big round of applause, Pranit. Okay, so it was Mumbai 5, Delhi, who went out as number 4. So we're left with Chennai, Mumbai and Bhopal. Okay? Chennai, Mumbai, Bhopal. Bhopal, Mumbai, Chennai. Okay, who's going to make it? And I now request Mr. Rocky is just awarding our second runner-up. Who do you think will win?
No guess, can't say actually.
Can you cut the music please? Thank you so much. Okay. Who do you think will win?
One of the two.
He's going to be a witty writer, I can tell. Stumped and stumped. Okay. Any other answer other than that?
I guess there's a draw in both of us as one.
We booked only one flight ticket to Paris. Okay. Coming in second, and when I announce that, you will know who the winner is. So, I will hold on to that, because I have a few other announcements to make. And those are, let the suspense the runner-ups. After which, you will know who the winner is. And I seem to have lost my card. No, I haven't. Okay, let me give you the scores. Not the cricket score. 68.47 was second, and 71.81 was first. Australia will lose by 2 runs today. I can tell. Coming in second from Arya Vidya Mandir, Mumbai.